I'm Liz Echols, and I've been a member of Davies Church since 1961. I believe my late husband and I signed the membership book in 1963, which means I've been a member for a little over 54 years. Our initial reason for coming to Davies, or the impetus for us our coming to Davies, was to find a satisfying religious education home for our 3 young children. We knew or had read some about Sophia Fall's writing about religious education for children, and her emphasis was on learning by experience, by experiencing things, and Sophia felt that that kind of learning would enable young people to develop their own understanding of religion and spirituality. And since Davies offered that program, we stayed. And of course, like many others, we came for our children, but we stayed for ourselves because we found a very satisfying faith community that was loving and caring. And in those early days, we were in the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Southeast Washington at that time, and we bought property of this 6 acres here on Temple Hills Road in 1960. But those were exciting times. I mean, the 60s were very exciting times. There were a number of very urgent social justice issues being discussed. We participated in those, but we were active in the congregation, and we learned in the summer of 64, that we needed to vacate the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which meant we had to search for space. So we found the Suitland Elementary School, and our adult programs were in the auditorium. The RE program, however, was spread over 4 different locations. One being in the basement of a bank building, another at a recreation center. I was teaching in RE at that time, so imagine the logistics of getting everything out. We, of course, had to take everything home when we left, and my husband at that time was on the operations committee, and of course they had to clear out everything out of the Suitland auditorium before leaving. And I remember one time in particular, and I've told this story before, but we were preparing to leave for a 2-week trip. And we have 3 young children, a lot of luggage. We go out to put our luggage in the station wagon, and there were all the hymnals, because my husband had taken them from. So before we could leave, those hymnals had to be taken to someone for them to deliver them for church on Sunday. As I recall, Bill took them to Rex and Echols' house. But there were frustrating times, but there were also very exciting times, because we owned our property, we had a building committee, we were planning to move into our building, which we subsequently did. We moved into this building in July, I believe, of 1966. And I remember one thing in particular, Muriel Davies, Dr. Davies' widow, spoke to us here once, and I think it was on the occasion of our 40th anniversary. And she said that Dr. Davies, this congregation, this church, was very dear to him. It was the last Unitarian church that was organized while he was still alive. And she said it was close to his heart. And as I recall, she said something to the effect that he greatly admired the courage and determination it took for this small group of people to establish a liberal congregation in the midst of an inhospitable and a very conservative environment. So it was, we have been through some very difficult times, but they have been good times, because through it all, we celebrated joys and sorrows with each other. We did all things, but we worked very hard. And I think that is a good thing for our future. We did it. Nevertheless, we persisted. So we accomplished it.
Perfect. Good. Great.